Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And shout out to Yakim that's going out there and teaching, risking your lives and doing whatever you can to expose corruption, to expose Esau, the so-called white man, and, risking yourselves to do so. And so here we are. I recently have reinstated Twitter. In fact, I didn't realize I still had the Twitter because, I thought this thing was screened more like Facebook. But I like Twitter a lot better than I liked Facebook anyways. Less bullshit. And just, I used it to get, what's going on. So I'm subscribed to like Press TV and Syrian Perspective and other alternative news sites, and I figured out that Twitter works. Sometimes you can get videos off of it that you will not even see on YouTube because it's quote-unquote too hot for YouTube. So read this article here. U.S. reporter in Duma rejects any use of chemical weapons. So, we also know that they blew up Pope Bergoglio, or known as Francis, issues joint statement and Al-Russia killer in connection to worsening the situation in Syria. Yeah, whatever. Oh, here's a funny thing. This is from the Judge Report. D.C. considers lowering voting age to 16 because they want to give you the illusion that you voted, that you had to say so, right? And Alex Jones, live, Soros judge demands all Cohen records be placed in searchable database. See, he believes in the innocence of Donald Trump, that Donald Trump is quote-unquote being, both him and Chris Green believe that same thing, that they're being pushed into this, but they don't really want to do it. Yeah, they did. They personally want to do it. Are they being compromised? Of course they're being compromised, duh. But they were always a part of it. So Chris Green put out another video yesterday, and I'm going to look at this because I didn't forward it as it seems to kind of repeat itself, so I just kind of saved it. So we'll click this on here and see what he has for us.
Media television, an independent Swiss lab who was doing tests on a nerve agent that was supposedly used against a former Russian spy. Now, you guys remember this. The UK basically condemned and blamed Russia for poisoning a former Russian spy with a nerve agent in the United Kingdom. Now, an independent Swiss lab has came out, independent, saying that they can't confirm or deny this, which is very interesting. Because already the UK has demonized Russia in such a way to unite Europe, right, to kind of water down Brexit. I'm surprised Brexit is even going to go through. I doubt it, and if it does, it's going to be so watered down, it's like the UK never even pulled out of the European Union. You think these globalists want a border? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And just like after World War II, they need to ensure that the people in the UK and in Europe understand that Russia is going to attack Europe if we don't have a united European Union. Okay, we have that same propaganda here, even though we haven't been attacked physically by Russia whatsoever, and saying that, the attack on our voting system because some trolls in Russia wrote some mean comments on the internet, I don't think is an excuse for World War III. Now, we also have this. Okay, so these chemical attack false flags. Another one is coming. I hope everybody understands this. Now, even Nikki Haley, okay, our ambassador to the United Nations, has stated that the United States is locked and loaded if any more chemical attacks occur by the Bashar al-Assad government. They provided no proof. They provided no proof and no evidence. So anybody can use chemical weapons. Anybody can do anything, right? And then they'll blame it on Bashar al-Assad, and what'd she say? She's locked and loaded. John Bolton had a much more hawkish plan. I think Donald Trump might have stepped back a little bit from it, but there's a big psychological warfare going on in the media. When we strike, how big it's going to be. It's a slowly, methodical build-up, but remember this, and everybody has to understand this. The key is to remove Assad, okay? And the key is to attack Russia and to attack Iran. Now, John Bolton wanted to attack Russian military installations and Iranian installations. Now, John Bolton, again, he was brought on for a wartime presence in the Middle East, obviously, but to have that wartime consigliere, or whatever you call it, in his ear, right? This is why Donald Trump picked him, not to pull out of the Middle East. We know how hawkish he is. We know he's a New World Order advocate. We understand this 100%.
Very important. And by the way, John Bolton is here, and we just had a big, successful hit. John? So I think... John, that's pretty good. I didn't expect that. I'm a little jealous. Are you giving him all the credit? You know that means the end of his job.
Fucking asshole.
Russia is sending their warships equipped with military equipment, tanks, and Vladimir Putin is stating that there's going to be global chaos, okay, if the United States strikes again. And again, what did Nikki Haley say? You know, what is Donald Trump saying? He's signaling, and they're staying there, right? You have an armada of U.S. warships that are still headed to the Syrian coast. You have basically these new tanks that are being deployed in Europe to prepare for a war with Russia that have these new futuristic shields that surround them. So basically, they won't be attacked by missiles or fire or anti-tank missiles, whatever the case might be. The technology is incredible. We have the biggest funding to the military ever seen. So this is the playing field. Now, Israel has been obviously doing a lot of the work for us. Israel has bombed an Iranian base a couple times, probably more than that. Remember, people, I don't understand how people don't get this. You call CNN fake news, but you only believe war is happening when it's on CNN. This is not sane to think that way, okay? They're not going to tell you the truth. This is propaganda, the deep state. So, you want to click and you want to find out when things are going to happen on CNN? Like we reported here before any mainstream news reported that Israel struck an Iranian base in Syria. And it's not on CNN. Oh, really? Yeah, it's not, is it? Now, alternative news is so important to have our voices out there, and you guys need to do your job. And you need to spread out the information as much as you can. You need to join the underground. Click the link below and join us on.
And that's what we're doing now. Shalom. We'll go to another article here. Shalom. So anyhow, InfoWars, another post. Liberals call for Syrian strike, then trash Trump for ordering attack a week later. Yeah, of course, because they want you to think that they're for it, they're against it, a right and a left, as if that exists. Okay, here's another one that's posted here. This young girl from Yemen is a victim of a chemical attack in her own country by the Saudi Arabian government. The chemicals used as white phosphorus. So why are we not bombing Saudi Arabia and taking out their chemical weapons with airstrikes? So, yeah, you can see how much bullshit this is when we know Assad is not doing this to his people, but Saudi Arabia does. And, I think WWE is about to do an event there, the greatest Royal Rumble ever. And here's another football gathering, which football is soccer in other countries. Fuck Trump, Syria's football fans unfold banners slamming U.S. strikes. And so, I think that's fucking great. They're tired of this fucking place, And this one's from Syrian Girl. Trust the plan as these people are led off a cliff. Yeah. You must voluntarily comply. Yeah, this is arts graphics. Of course, this is IRS, Ooh, you better pay your taxes. Yeah, and fund the war machine. Syrian Girl, let's get things straight. There was a chemical attack. It was conducted by the Al-Qaeda-linked rebels. Anti-Assad Syrian pretending to be an unbiased American journalist. She won't be able to tell you it was Assad, right? Of course, these people are paid and funded, right? And so, the rhetoric will continue. This is going to escalate. They're going to do more. But this big one here I wanted to get to is published by Carla Ortiz, and you will not see this on YouTube, but you're going to see it because I forwarded this video from the headquarters of the White Helmets, who reported and copy and paste this video because I'm about to show this to you. Make them and take your conclusive decade base. Okay, that's French. I don't understand that language, but either way, though, we're gonna look at this video. I'm gonna blow it up. Hold on a second.
Hi everybody, I am Carla Ortiz. I am here in the city of Aleppo. This is Sohur neighborhood. We are in the headquarters of the White Helmets. For the ones that know, the White Helmets were nominated for the Nobel Prize, for the Peace Nobel Prize. And they were pushed very much by the governments, the United States, France also, the UK, all the Western coalition, with Saudi Arabia, with Qatar, etc.
All right, he's fucking with my feed here. Hold on a second.
Hi everybody, I am Carla Ortiz. I am here in the city of Aleppo. This is Sohur neighborhood. We are in the headquarters of the White Helmets. For the ones that know, the White Helmets were nominated for the Nobel Prize, for the Peace Nobel Prize. And they were pushed very much by the governments, the United States, France also, the UK, all the Western coalition, with Saudi Arabia, with Qatar, etc. And they call themselves Civil Defense for Syria. And this is how we know them in our media. Most of the chemical attacks that we've heard in the last 3 years, all the explosions in hospitals that we've also heard about, has been reported from the White Helmets headquarters and by the White Helmets. And I want to introduce to you who are these White Helmets that also were nominated for the Oscars as a short film, and they won the Oscars. So let me show you these heroes. You see pieces of the Quran that says that Allah is good, fight, die for Islam, etc. And over there, you see the flag of the revolution, the flag of the rebels, the flag that in general has been used by different groups of opposition as well as terrorist groups. We see here the main logo of the White Helmets. In a way, a lot of people say that they work all together, but since we don't know, I'm going to show you. So let me show you where the White Helmets have operated. These are the notice that used to give to the town. You remember that the United Nations was always appealing for a no-fly zone, because every time there was a ceasefire, it was an opportunity to actually produce terrorist attacks. Over here, we see the teaching of how the White Helmets have to help the baby. This is old. It's not just put now. And right above, as you can see, is the logo of ISIS. ISIS logo, also old, put together the seal that has been there from before. We see that White Helmets somehow had relation with ISIS and Islam, the other terrorist group. So you tell me if you think they were working together or not. And then over here, kill for Father Muhammad. We're close to that. We can see ways of teaching school, who they're assisted with or by whom. We have to see the pictures of them working on people. Here we see boxes of aid for gas masks, for chemical attacks, and the actual gas for the masks. If you see, this is made in Australia and it's delivered by Germany. Somehow also the teaching and printing of what they used to teach for the school to the children. While the Battle of Aleppo was happening, they basically burned almost everything. We're going down. Everything is burned. Over here we see the flag of Al-Nusra. Al-Nusra, for the ones that don't know, it's the